What is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is the part of economics that studies big economies seen as a whole and their different aspects. For example, a country's economy and what factors contribute or are involved on it. What does macroeconomic policy mean? It's the one that affects a country or a region in its entirety. It deals with the monetary, fiscal, commercial, and foreign exchange regime, as well as economic growth, inflation, and national employment and unemployment rates. Which are the two macroeconomic policies that exist? The first policy is government spending and borrowing, and the second one is exchange rate determinants and monetary and credit rules. What institutions are responsible for determining monetary policy in Mexico? Banquillo, Bancomer, and Banamex. Which organs are responsible for determining fiscal policy in Mexico? Secretaría de Hacienda y Crédito Público, CHCP. Subsecretaría de Hacienda y Crédito Público. Subsecretaría de Ingresos. Subsecretaría de Egresos. Procuraduría Fiscal de la Federación. Tesorería de la Federación. Secretaría de Economía. Ministro de Economía. How do Mexican fiscal and monetary policy work, and what are the consequences of each to the people? Fiscal policy is understood as a set of measures related to the tax system, public expenditure, external internal indebtedness of the state, and to the operations and financial situation of the autonomous or parastatal entities and organisms, in the middle of which demand and the distribution of investment and public consumption as components of national spending, economic stability, and regulate the economic cycle through the budget balance. Monetary policy is the process by which the monetary authority of a country controls the money supply and availability of money, often through interest rates, in order to maintain stability and economic growth. This is the role and import of international economic institutions for the decision-making process in regard of domestic macroeconomic policies. The promotion of economic stability consists, to a certain extent, in avoiding economical and financial crises, pronounced oscillations in economic activity, high inflation, excessive volatility in the exchange and financial markets, move towards a greater articulation between macroeconomics, microeconomics, and institutionality. What are the functions of the executive and legislative branches in fiscal policy? The executive power has the principal objective to manage the public resources and to invest in different projects to the social, political, and economic development of the country. However, the legislative power has the main objective to evaluate and approve the laws and is not very involved in the fiscal area. What are the most significant macroeconomic indicators to Mexico to assess its progress and stability? The main indicators are GDP per capita, trade balance, inflation, jobs generated, among other very important factors. Describe with historical data how the Mexican economic model was structured in the way it currently operates. The economic model of Mexico has been a neoliberalist model since 1994, after the NAFTA was signed, with this and many things that the President Carlos Salinas de Gortari made. Identify the ideologies that explain the structure and functioning of the current Mexican economic model. The first one is the import substitution model. This is proposed to generate more jobs, foreign investment in manufacturing, trade, and production of imported goods. The next one is stabilizing development model. Industry increase productivity and achieve international competitiveness through the incorporation of modern technology. And the last one is neo-developmentalism. It will increase the role of the state in order to raise the national content of exports as well as to balance regional imbalances. It will try to stimulate the internal market through increases in the purchasing of power of the most humble people. How does the structure and functioning of the Mexican economic model impact on respect for human rights and the search for social justice? The economic model has the duty to make people receive better work opportunities and salaries. This affects directly to the human rights of the population because if the model fails, then the citizens cannot get what they should. However, if the government wants to make social justice and improve the respect for human rights, Soraya Perez, El Economista reporter, said that the government must invest in social programs that could have a potential to decrease social differences. We hope for a better future without working for it. The problem is that if we continue thinking that way, we might never be able to see that future begin.